keys jingle in my hand as I stand before the front door of my very first home. Not a rental, not a share house, mine. All mine. The door swings open with a satisfying creak, and I step inside, breathing in deeply. The scent of fresh paint still hangs in the air, clean and promising. This moment should feel perfect. I've waited 32 years for this. Hello, beautiful. I whisper to the empty foyer, running my fingers along the newly painted wall. That's when I notice something isn't right. My smile falters as I walk further inside, my footsteps echoing on the hardwood floors. The living room comes into view, and I freeze where my brand new furniture should be. The cream-colored sofa I spent weeks selecting, the glass coffee table, the matching end tables. There's a mismatched collection of garbage, a threadbare couch with stuffing poking through its torn seams, a scarred wooden coffee table covered in rings and scratches, shelves that look like they might collapse if I breathe too hard. I know this furniture. It's Miranda's, my sister's old filthy cast-offs. What the hell? I mutter, slowly circling the room. The stench hits me, then mildew, something rotting, and the unmistakable tang of dried urine. I cover my mouth and nose with my hand, fighting back a gag. My gaze lands on the only thing in the room that belongs, the high and smart curtains from Miss 10. Serafina hanging pristinely at the windows. Their sleek technology and elegant fabric, a bizarre contrast to the squalor surrounding them. Before I can process what's happening, my phone vibrates in my pocket. A text from Miranda. I open it to find a photo of my two nephews jumping up and down on my brand new cream-colored sofa, the one that should be here in my living room. The boys are grinning, sticky hands grabbing at the cushions as they bounce. Below the photo, a message. Thanks, sis. Mom said it was a housewarming gift for me. My old stuff is at your place, but you're so good at decorating. You'll make it look great. My hands shake as I stare at the screen. This can't be real. This can't be happening, but it is. 5 days ago, I made a serious mistake. I announced my housewarming party in the family chat a little too early. I just wanted to make sure everyone could clear their schedules and be there. I was excited to show off the house that was truly mine. I wanted recognition for this achievement, for how much it meant to me. My mother, Linda, had immediately chimed in. I want to see it before everyone else. Let me come over. Let me be involved. I remember how my heart had warmed at those words. For once, my mother wanted to be part of my life, not just Miranda's, mine. Then the furniture company called, confirming delivery for Friday today. When I had a crucial meeting I couldn't reschedule, before I could figure out what to do, my mother's voice cut in. Let me accept it for you. I'll be here Friday morning. The solution seemed perfect. I gave her the spare key, grateful for her sudden interest in my life. Finally, I had thought. My mom actually cares about me. What a joke. I sink down onto the filthy sofa, not caring about the dust that rises around me. I've spent my entire life as the invisible daughter, the family wallet, the one who paid her own way through college while Miranda dropped out, the one who covered Miranda's first and 200 credit card debt, and then the war's 801 that followed, the one who sends 600 every single month to make sure my nephews have everything they need while their mother posts vacation photos on social media. My phone buzzes again, another text from Miranda. The boys love the sofa. It's perfect for our place, Mom said. You wouldn't mind. You're so independent. Something inside me, something that's been bending for 32 years, finally snaps. I don't cry. I don't scream. I feel a strange calm wash over me like ice water in my veins. I look around one more time at the disgusting furniture my mother and sister have dumped in my beautiful new home. I take a deep breath, ignoring the stench. I stand up, brush the dust from my clothes, and grip my car keys so tightly the metal cuts into my palm. My sister's apartment is only a 10-minute drive from here. My mother is probably still there. The two of them laughing about how they've pulled one over on practical, reliable Peyton yet again. My father is likely sitting quietly in the corner, watching it all happen, the way he always does. Not this time. Stride back to my front door, the calm inside me solidifying into something harder, something colder, something that has been waiting for this moment for 32 years. I don't bother locking up. After all, there's nothing worth stealing. I get in my car, start the engine, and head straight for Miranda's apartment. This ends today, keys still clutched in my white-knuckled grip. I thunder up the stairs to Miranda's second-floor apartment. My breath comes in short, angry bursts as I reach her door. I don't knock. I use my spare key, the one she gave me for emergencies. Which emergencies always just meant her needing me to pick up the kids when she was busy with some trivial nonsense. And I adored the kids too much to ever say no. Well, this definitely qualified as an emergency. The door swings open with such force it bangs against the wall, and I freeze in the doorway. My living room has been transported here piece by piece. My 13,800 furniture set, the cream-colored sofa, glass coffee table, end tables, everything is crammed awkwardly into Miranda's much smaller space. The arrangement is ridiculous. The oversized sectional dominates the room, leaving barely enough space to walk. And there, perched on my sofa like a queen on a throne, sits my mother, Linda Brooks, calm as can be, sipping tea from a china cup. Miranda hovers nearby, her expression shifting from surprise to defiance as she spots me. What the hell is this? I demand, stepping inside and slamming the door behind me. Mom sets her teacup down with exaggerated precision. Peyton, there's no need for that tone. No need. You stole my furniture. My voice rises and I notice my nephews peeking around the corner from the hallway. We didn't steal anything, Miranda says, folding her arms. Mom said it was a gift. A gift. I never. Peyton. Mom interrupts, her voice taking on that reasonable tone she uses when she's about to say something completely unreasonable. You live alone in that big house. Why do you need such expensive things? Miranda has 2 growing boys. I stare at her incredulous because I bought them with my money for my house. You're a decor influencer. Miranda chimes in. Just turn trash into treasure. That's what you do, right? Take my old stuff and make it look amazing for your followers. The audacity nearly knocks me backward. You dumped your filthy broken furniture in my brand new home. That couch smells like urine. Mom gasps, placing a hand over her heart. Are you saying my grandsons aren't house-trained? They're not animals, Peyton. That's not your taking toys away from the kids. Miranda cuts in, her voice rising to a theatrical pitch. They love that sofa. Look how happy they are. On cue, my nephews step into view, eyes wide and uncertain. I know this routine. I've seen it my entire life. When confronted, Mom and Miranda instantly transform into victims. This isn't about the boys, I say, struggling to keep my voice level. This is about you taking something that doesn't belong to you. We're family, Mom says, as if that explains everything. Family shares. I take a step forward. Then why didn't you ask me first? Because you would have said no, Miranda replies, rolling her eyes like I'm being completely unreasonable. Yes, I would have, because it's mine. Mom stands up from my sofa, smoothing her pants. Peyton, honestly, this temper tantrum is beneath you. You should just stop and go home to prepare for your photo shoot with Miss Serafina on Tuesday. Are you really going to miss that big opportunity, just to stand here and fight over a sofa? I freeze, her words sinking in slowly like poison. How do you know about my photo shoot with Serafina? A flicker of something's surprise. Guilt crosses her face before she composes herself. You mentioned it, obviously. No, I didn't. The realization hits me like a punch to the gut. I haven't told anyone except Luna. Not family. Especially not family. The Serafina contract was too important, too precarious. She knew. My mother knew about the promotional photo shoot with Serafina. This wasn't just theft. It was calculated career sabotage. You went through my emails, I say, my voice barely above a whisper. You planned this whole thing. Before she can respond, the boys rush forward and throw themselves against my legs, clinging to me. Auntie, please don't take the sofa, cries the younger one, tears already streaming down his face. We love it. See what you're doing. Miranda hisses, you're upsetting them. For a moment I feel that familiar pull. The guilt, the obligation, but something has changed inside me. I kneel down to their eye level, gently placing my hands on their shoulders. Sweeties, I'm not mad at you. I love you, but this is Auntie's property. Your grandma and Mom took it without asking me. You are always welcome in my home, and you can use my things, but not like this. The boys sniff. Usually I'd cave by now. From the corner of the room, my father finally speaks. I hadn't even noticed him sitting there, silent as always. Miranda, just give your sister her things back. His voice trails off as Mom shoots him, a look that could freeze lava. He shrinks back into his corner. Defeated, I stand up straight, drawing myself to full height. The clarity is painful but necessary. My family has been using me for years. My money, my stability, my silence, but not anymore. I'll say it one more time. Pack it up or you will face the consequences. Miranda steps forward, her expression ugly with contempt. You dare. What are you going to do? My hand moves to my phone in my pocket. What am I going to do? Indeed, Miranda leans against her kitchen counter, arms crossed, a smug grin spreading across her face. You can't do anything about it, she says, her voice dripping with the confidence of someone who's never faced consequences. My mother nods in agreement, setting her teacup down with a delicate clink. Be reasonable, Peyton. You have that photo shoot with Miss Serafina on Tuesday. You can't possibly let this family matter get out. She smooths her skirt, the picture of composure. Think about your reputation. For once, think about the kids, Miranda adds, gesturing toward my nephews who have retreated to the hallway, watching with wide eyes. They love that furniture. You're really going to take it away from them? They've done this my entire life. Wielded guilt like a weapon. Treated my boundaries like suggestions. The emotional blackmail. The threats to my reputation, the children as human shields. It's textbook manipulation and I've spent 32 years falling for it. Not today. I pull my phone from my pocket. My fingers surprisingly steady. You're right, I can't do anything. I pause, watching relief flood their faces. Then I add, but the police can. I dial 911. My mother's teacup crashes to the floor. What are you doing? Her voice rises to a shriek. Yes, I'd like to report a theft. I say into the phone, my voice calm and clear. Robert. My mother screams, her composure shattering. Do something, she's calling the cops. My father steps forward from his corner, his hand raised as if to stop me. For a moment, he's not the silent observer, but the enforcer my mother has always wanted him to be. I lock eyes with him. Dad, don't. Something passes between us. Some quiet understanding that's been 32 years in the making. I watch the conflict play across his face. The decades of choosing the path of least resistance whirring with something new. Something like respect. Slowly, his hand drops. He retreats back to his corner, his shoulders slumped. He has made his choice. My mother lunges toward me, fingers outstretched for my phone. Give me that. I sidestep her easily, keeping the phone to my ear. And now they're assaulting me. I tell the operator, who confirms officers are on their way. The next 20 minutes are chaos. My mother paces, alternating between threats and pleas. Miranda tries calling my bluff, insisting I won't go through with it. My father sits silently, staring at his hands. My nephews watch it all from the safety of their bedroom doorway, confusion etched on their small faces. When the knock comes, the apartment falls silent. 2 officers stand in the doorway, a woman with cropped blonde hair and a man with serious eyes. We received a call about a theft, the woman says. My mother immediately steps forward, her social mask firmly in place. There's been a misunderstanding. This is a family matter. My name is Peyton Brooks. I interrupt. I purchased a $13,800 worth of furniture that was delivered to my home yesterday. Without my permission. My mother and sister took it and replaced it with this. I show them photos of the filthy furniture now sitting in my living room. Do you have proof of purchase? The male officer asks. I pull up the receipts on my phone along with the delivery confirmation email sent to my address. The female officer examines them carefully, then looks at my mother and sister. Mom, did you take this furniture? My mother shifts strategies, her voice honey-sweet. It was a misunderstanding. Peyton agreed to give the furniture to Miranda. Her children needed it. That's not true, I say quietly. I never agreed to that. The officers separate us, taking statements individually. They look at the texts from Miranda, thanking me for the gift. They listen to my mother's increasingly flustered explanations. They note my father's silence. After what feels like hours, the female officer gathers us in the living room. Based on our investigation, this appears to be a clear case of theft. The furniture was purchased by Mrs. Brooks, delivered to her address and removed without her consent. She turns to my mother and sister. You have 2 options. Return the property immediately or Miss Brooks can press charges and take this to court. The color drains from my mother's face. Miranda's smug smile has long since disappeared. We uncle return it, my mother says tightly. Under police supervision, they begin the humiliating process of repackaging my furniture. Every piece they carelessly tossed around must now be wrapped. My sister struggles with the sofa cushions, cursing under her breath. My mother wraps glass tabletops, her movements stiff with rage. Clearly they are not very careful. The officers stay, ensuring every single item is accounted for. As the last piece is loaded, I turn to leave. The confrontation is over, I've won. Don't you ever show your face in this house again. My mother screams at my back. I pause at the door, turning slightly. That's the best thing you've said all day. I look her directly in the eyes, letting 32 years of suppressed truth rise to the surface. Oh. And don't expect that $600 on the first of the month. The truck follows me back to my house where the officers oversee the return of my furniture. The police leave once everything is back in place, offering me a case number just in case. Finally alone, I stand in my living room, surrounded by my belongings. The victory feels hollow somehow. The cream sofa has an ice cream stain from my nephews. The coffee table has a new scratch across its surface. A tag has been ripped from one of the end tables. I pull out my phone and begin methodically documenting everything. I take videos of the entire room, then close up photos of each imperfection, the stain, the scratch, the ripped tag. I'm not sad. I don't have time for that luxury. I call an emergency sofa cleaning service, wincing at their weekend premium rate, but agreeing immediately. The stain needs to be gone before Tuesday's photo shoot with Miss Serafina. Everything must be perfect. The weekend passes in a blur of preparations. Luna arrives Saturday morning, her arms full of groceries and cleaning supplies. "You called the cops on your mom," she says, not a question, but a statement filled with awe. "You actually did it." "I had to," I reply, arranging throw pillows to hide the slightly darker patch where the stain had been. "I'm proud of you," Luna says, helping me center the coffee table. We work together, transforming my house into the showcase it needs to be for Tuesday. By Sunday night, everything looks perfect. I've just stepped out of the shower when I notice my phone blinking with notifications. 3 missed calls from Miss Serafina and 5 from Luna. My stomach drops as I unlock the screen. There it is, Miranda's newest social media post. A photo of the old filthy furniture they had dumped at my place with Miss Serafina's high-end curtains hanging perfectly in the background. She's tagged at Peyton's pics and written, "Visited the expert decorator's new house. Guess this is an influencer's real taste trash." Disappointed. I stare at the phone, water dripping from my hair onto the screen. Miranda couldn't steal my furniture, so she's trying to steal my reputation instead. The war has only just begun. My phone won't stop vibrating. 3 messengers from Luna. 23 notifications from Instagram. The comment section explodes beneath it. Some defending me, others expressing shock and disappointment. The PR crisis is spiraling in real time right before my eyes. My phone buzzes again. "Miss Serafina." I take a deep breath and answer. "Miss Serafina, I was just about to call you." Peyton. Her voice is ice. "I've been sent a rather disturbing image featuring my curtains. This was not in our contract. Having my brand new line displayed alongside what appears to be garbage is unacceptable." My heart hammers against my ribs, but I keep my voice steady. "Miss Serafina, I completely understand your concern. That photo was taken and posted without my knowledge or consent." "Explain now." "So I do." The entire humiliating story pours out: the furniture swap, calling the police, getting everything back, spending the weekend cleaning. How my sister and mother deliberately sabotaged me, using her old furniture and my professional reputation as weapons. There's silence on the other end when I finish. "The photo shoot is still scheduled for tomorrow," I say into the void. "I guarantee it will be perfect. The furniture is all in place, professionally cleaned. Your curtains will be showcased exactly as we discussed." Another long pause. "Very well." Miss Serafina finally says, "I sympathize with your situation, Peyton. Family can be complicated, but I'm trusting you to deliver what we agreed upon. My team will arrive at 9:00 a.m. sharp. I won't let you down. Thank you for understanding." After hanging up, I send Luna a quick text. "Everything under control. Serafina's still on for tomorrow. We'll call you later." I walk to my desk and open my laptop. A new spreadsheet appears on the screen. I title it Final Invoice. Line by line, I document everything. College debts 1,800 equals 3,000. Monthly support 600 x 36 months 21,600 years est 5,000 total 29,600. I stare at the figure, nearly 30,000. The concrete cost of being the family ATM for years. I save the file and close my laptop. Tomorrow Miss Serafina arrives. The photo shoot transforms my living room into a hive of focused activity. Lighting technicians adjust their equipment, while stylists make final touches to the furniture arrangement. Miss Serafina inspects her smart curtains, nodding approvingly as they respond to her voice commands, shifting from translucent to opaque with elegant fluidity. Luna hovers near me, having taken the day off work to be here. She's been glancing nervously at the door all morning. "They won't show up," I tell her, knowing exactly what she's thinking. "I wouldn't put it past them," Luna mutters. "Your mother has the audacity of 10 normal people, and Miranda follows her lead like a puppy. Even they aren't stupid enough to crash a professional photo shoot." The photographer positions me on my pristine cream-colored sofa, the very one my nephews had jumped on in Miranda's apartment. Now it's immaculate again, not a stain in sight thanks to the emergency cleaning service. "Perfect," the photographer says, adjusting my position slightly. "Now reach toward the curtains as if you're about to adjust them." I follow his direction, extending my arm gracefully toward the smart curtains. The camera clicks rapidly. "These are stunning," Miss Serafina says, reviewing the first batch of shots. "Absolutely perfect." 4 hours later, we have dozens of gorgeous images showcasing my decorating talent and Miss Serafina's innovative curtains. The living room looks like a magazine spread, elegant, inviting, and distinctly unlike the trash heap in Miranda's vindictive post. After everyone leaves, Luna and I collapse on the sofa with glasses of wine. "You did it," she says, clinking her glass against mine. Serafina seemed thrilled. She was. We're releasing the photos tomorrow morning across all platforms. That'll crush Miranda's sad attempt at sabotage. I nod, taking a long sip. One more thing to do tonight. After Luna leaves, I return to my laptop and open the final invoice spreadsheet. I attach it to an email addressed to my mother, father, and sister. Subject: final invoice, payment not expected. The message is brief. This is what being the family ATM has cost me over the years. Consider this my formal notice that the ATM is permanently closed. Do not contact me again. I hit send, then immediately block my mother's and sister's numbers on my phone. For the first time in years, I feel light-free. 2 blocks away, Miranda slams her phone down on the coffee table. What the hell does she mean? The ATM is closed. She screams at her mother. I need that $600 a month. Linda paces back and forth across Miranda's living room, her face flushed with anger. This is ridiculous. She can't just cut us off after everything we've done for her. Done for her. Miranda laughs bitterly. Like what exactly? You've never done anything for her except take. Watch your mouth. Linda snaps. This is your fault if you hadn't posted that stupid picture. My fault. It was your idea to switch the furniture. And now she's blocked both our numbers. Their argument escalates, voices rising to a screaming match that sends Miranda's children scurrying to their bedrooms, hands over their ears. In the corner, Robert watches silently, rubbing his temples. The shouting continues for another hour before he retreats to the spare bedroom and pulls out his phone. He types a message to Peyton. They've been fighting all night. Miranda says, "You've cut off the money. Maybe you should reconsider for the boys' sake." He stares at the screen, waiting for a response that never comes. 3 months. 92 days since I'd sent that final invoice. 92 days of blessed silence from my mother and Miranda. My phone buzzes on the kitchen counter, and I see my father's name flashing on the screen. The 4th call this week. I let it ring until it stops, then watch as the voicemail notification appears. With a sigh, I tap to listen. Peyton, it's Dad. His voice sounds tired. Defeated. Can't you forgive your mother? She misses you. We all do. The message ends with a heavy sigh. I delete it without responding. The first dozen times he called with the same plea, I'd felt a twinge of guilt. Now I feel nothing. My new cream sofa, professionally cleaned of all ice cream stains, sits in my living room like a trophy. A reminder that I'd finally done what 32 years of being the good daughter hadn't accomplished. I'd made them see me. My phone buzzes again. This time it's not my father, but my Aunt Teresa, my mother's sister. Peyton Brooks, what is wrong with you? Her voice is sharp through the speaker. She's your mother. For heaven's sake, how can you be so cold? I pull the phone away from my ear as she continues. Family forgives Peyton. Miranda made a mistake. Your sisters, just let it go. When she pauses to take a breath, I speak. Aunt Teresa? This isn't about forgiveness. It's about respect and boundaries. Boundaries. She practically spits the word. That's just a fancy way of saying selfish. I end the call without another word. Within the hour, my phone lights up with texts from 2 more aunts and an uncle. The family artillery has been fully deployed. I set my phone to do not disturb and focus on the proposal for my newest client. Miss Serafina's curtains had been such a success that 3 more home decor brands had reached out for partnerships. My business was thriving in direct proportion to my family's rage. The days pass, more calls, more texts. I delete them all without reading. Peace settles around me like a blanket until a month later. It's a quiet Tuesday evening when my phone buzzes with a text from my father. Unlike the others, this one catches my attention because there's an image attached. My nephews, Alex and Jamie, smile up at me from the screen. They're holding a crudely made sign that reads, "We miss you, Auntie P." Their faces are thinner than I remember. Their clothes a bit more worn. My father's message reads, "The kids really miss you and want to visit." I stare at the photo, my heart tightening. This is the test I've been dreading. The children are innocent in all this, but they're also the ultimate manipulation tool. I'd calculated the $600 monthly support in my invoice for a reason. It was never really about the money. It was about setting a boundary. But looking at their faces now, doubt creeps in. Has cutting off that money actually hurt them? Are they going without because of my stand against their mother? I pick up the phone and for the first time in 4 months, I make a call to my family. My father answers on the first ring. Peyton. His voice is cautious, hopeful. "I got your text," I say, keeping my tone neutral. "I miss the boys, too." The line goes quiet for a moment. Then I hear him exhale. "Does this mean I have conditions?" I interrupt. "I'd like to see them. You can bring them to my house for the weekend. Just you and the kids." I take a deep breath. Mom and Miranda are not to come. That is my condition. Another long silence follows. I can almost hear him weighing his options, calculating whether to argue. Robert, I prompt, using his first name deliberately. They really do miss you, he says finally, sounding defeated. I know and I miss them, but my terms aren't negotiable. He hesitates, and in that pause, I prepare myself for another rejection, another guilt trip. Okay, he says finally. This weekend, Saturday morning, victory threw me sweet and sharp. Saturday morning is perfect. I'll make pancakes. That Saturday, I'm up early preparing the boys' favorite foods. Dinosaur-shaped pancakes for Jamie. Chocolate chip ones for Alex. I've bought them each a small gift. Nothing extravagant. Just books I know they'll love. When the doorbell rings, I find my father standing there with two excited boys bouncing beside him. Auntie P, they shout in unison, launching themselves at my legs. I kneel down, hugging them tight. I've missed you monsters so much. My father stands awkwardly at the threshold until I nod for him to come inside. He looks older than I remember. The lines around his eyes deeper. The day passes in a blur of pancakes and board games and stories. The boys don't mention their mother or grandmother once. Sunday afternoon arrives too quickly. As the boys gather their things, my father pulls me aside in the kitchen. You know, he says quietly, eyes on the boys in the living room. Since you did that, Miranda has changed. I raise an eyebrow, skeptical. Changed how? He rubs a hand over his face. She had to get off social media, and he clears his throat. She's had to get a second job to support the kids. I wait, not saying a word. The important thing is, he continues. Instead of worrying what people think, she's living in reality and focusing on her kids for once. The two of them are happier now. The irony isn't lost on me. My act of self-preservation had forced Miranda to become a better mother. And Mom, I ask, unable to help myself. His expression darkens. She doesn't understand. Probably never will. He meets my eyes directly for perhaps the first time in my life. But I do. You were right to do what you did. The admission staggers me. For 32 years, my father had been Linda's silent shadow, never contradicting, never standing up to her. And now here in my kitchen, he's acknowledging that I, not my mother, had been right. As they leave, I press containers of food into his hands. For the boys, I say. He nods, understanding passing between us. Same time next month, I'd like that, I reply. I watch them drive away, standing in the doorway of my home, my beautiful, peaceful home with its cream-colored sofa and Miss Serafina's smart curtains. The home I defended. The home that's truly mine. I sink into my cream-colored sofa, running my fingers along its pristine fabric. No stains, no tears, just perfect like everything else in my house now. More wine? David asks, leaning over the back of the sofa. His construction-roughened hands hold the bottle with surprising gentleness. Please. I tilt my glass toward him, watching as he pours. 6 months ago, I never would have imagined this moment. My house filled with laughter, warmth, and people who genuinely care about me. Luna appears from the kitchen, balancing a tray of appetizers. Peyton, these crostini are incredible. The promotions made you an even better host. I smile at the mention of my recent advancement. After the cream sofa incident became a running joke at the office, my boss finally noticed the backbone I'd grown. 3 months later, I was leading my own marketing team. The influencer contracts followed, more lucrative ones than I'd ever dreamed possible. Clients loved the authenticity of my new content. Real homes for real people. The doorbell chimes. I excuse myself and pat across my perfectly arranged living room to answer it. You know, Miss Serafina says when I open the door, I never imagined that disaster would lead to this. She gestures to the framed magazine spread tucked under her arm. Our collaboration featured in Home and Style. Business partners now, I say, taking the frame from her. Who would have thought? I knew talent when I saw it. She steps inside, even with trash furniture in the background. The memory of Miranda's social media attack makes me laugh now rather than cringe. It was the best thing that could have happened, showing the world exactly who we both were. David appears at my side, sliding his arm around my waist. The feeling still surprises me. Someone who touches me with respect, who asks before moving my things, who sees my boundaries as strength rather than selfishness. House looks amazing for the official housewarming. He says the real one, I correct him, remembering how my mother had tried to hijack even that from me. Luna raises her glass to Peyton's new life. Everyone cheers. The sound fills my chest with warmth, replacing the hollow feeling I'd carried for 32 years. Later, when only Luna, David, and Serafina remain, I find myself back on the cream sofa, the same one that was stolen, stained, and professionally cleaned. What was once evidence of my family's betrayal has transformed into a symbol of my freedom. You know, Luna says, curling up beside me, I've never seen you this happy. I nod, unable to deny it. Turns out family is not an excuse to abuse, steal from, and manipulate someone. Speaking of family, David says cautiously. How are the nephews? My smile doesn't falter. Dad brought them over last weekend, our monthly visit. We built that ridiculous fort they've been obsessing about. No Miranda, no Linda, no manipulation. Just the boys and the aunt who loves them on my terms. They're good. I answer better, actually. Dad says Miranda's second job has given her some perspective. Serafina raises an eyebrow. The famous 600 cut off. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do for someone is stop enabling them, I say. My phone buzzes. A text from Dad. Boys made you something at school. Can we drop it by tomorrow? I type back, yes, 2 p.m. works. Just you and them. David notices my expression. Everything okay, perfect. I reply and mean it. When everyone has left, David helps me clean up. We move around each other with the comfortable rhythm we've developed over the past 2 months. I've been thinking, he says, stacking the last plate. That vacant lot next to the community center. It would make a great space for a playground. You thinking of designing it? I ask. We could do it together. Your eye for design. My construction knowledge, the we doesn't scare me anymore. Neither does the idea of building something new. Something that will last. I look around my beautiful home, truly mine now, filled with new memories that have nothing to do with theft or betrayal, and feel the last piece of my heart unlock. I'd like that. I tell him I'd like that very,